Alright guys, what is going on? Oink here, and today we have the first in this kind of supplementary tips, tricks, guides to helping you improve your GT6 skills. As I said, this goes hand in hand with the first in the career mode walkthrough, which was the novice set of events, in that we were using the Fit RS, and obviously this is a front wheel drive car, so the topic for this help video is understanding the FF drivetrain and how to get the most out of the grip. And it's all about like the fundamentals of weight distribution and the car's movement, how the suspension reacts to the inputs of the driver, of course the throttle, the brake and the steering inputs, and how the car and how the weight moves under different kind of strains that you're going to put it in. If you haven't yet seen the video on the walkthrough from Novice Cup, be sure there's a link in there, so go check that out in the description. You can go watch that video. Anyway, we'll start off here with just like a simple right hand turn. You can see the car comes in, braking in pretty much a straight line, getting to the apex and then accelerating out, and we can just see that in slow motion, the car braking there, and the front end dips down. We're kind of keeping it almost in a straight line under braking. As we come off the brakes, you see the car just rolls back, and that front left tyre taking the load, and then at about the apex we start to accelerate out and nice and smooth on the exit. So to kind of go into that like in a fundamental like basics way, we can kind of show you this just in a straight line, simply changing accelerator on brake inputs. So as we go onto the gas, the car rolls back onto the rear tyres, onto the brakes, and it goes onto the front. And this even works just by letting off the accelerators. You can see just off gas and on gas, and the car rolls backwards and forwards, and then even more extreme when we go into the brakes. If we kind of go through that just one step at a time, then as we come onto the accelerator, the car rolls back, so the suspension at the rear is now lower. The weight has been thrown back from the G-forces of the car accelerating, and so we've got less grip on those front tyres. The weight is on the rear tyres, and because of course these are front wheel drive, the front tyres are the ones that need the grip to give us better acceleration, better grip in the corners, all that kind of stuff. All of our steering is all at the front, so when we're accelerating here and the weight is at the back, we've got less grip on the front tyres, which is exactly where we need it. This is why you'll get a lot of understeer when you accelerate too early out of a corner. You'll find the car understeers wide, and that's because you haven't simply got enough grip at the front end of the car. As we come off the accelerator then and onto the brakes, the weight is then thrown forward. Of course the car is slowing down, so the chassis is getting thrown forwards, the G-forces go forwards, and of course that makes the front of the car go down. And again, of course, we've got more weight at the front of the car, more grip on those front tyres, and that's exactly what we need for the front drivetrain, for the FF drivetrain. Now, of course, when we're braking, we can't brake and turn at the same time. There is simply only a certain amount of grip, so we need to get all of the braking done in one go and then get onto the turning. Most effective way to slow the car down is in a straight line, so you want to be braking hard and in a straight line, and then you come off the brakes, and whilst we still have the grip at the front end, we then want to direct the car in the direction we want to go, and at that point we can then get back onto the gas once the car is pointed towards the exit of the turn. So if we kind of show that in slow motion around some corners here at Autumn Ring here, just a very simple kind of exercise. So I'm pointing the car kind of at I guess like a 45 degree, or maybe that's a 90 degree angle, so the corner of course is going left and we're going straight on at the moment. We apply the brakes, you see the car rolls forwards, just gentle, a sort of gentle tap of the brakes, that puts the car in like a forward angle, so the grip there is at the front. It wasn't much braking, it wasn't hard braking, because we're already going slowly. We don't need to slam the brakes on, just a tap of the brakes, that throws the car forward. Now we've got the grip at the front. Now at this exact moment, as we come off the brakes, or sort of as you dip the brakes there, that's when we want to direct the car. So we point the car where we want to go, and once it's pointed far enough, that's when we need to get back onto the accelerator, and that will obviously throw the weight to the back of the car, to the rear of the car, and we'll lose the grip at the front there that we need for our turning, and we can get on our way. So the crucial aspect is not putting the gas down too early, otherwise we lose the grip we need for turning. And you'll notice a very subtle change in the movement of the car. After we put the accelerator down, it just kind of flattens out a bit, and that's kind of almost like a visual effect of you seeing that understeer happen. The car is not quite as banked as it was when we were actually in the turn, so that's a really kind of easy visual indicator that the car is just not turning as much because you've got the throttle pushed down there. So that kind of sums up some very fundamental basics of just weight distribution and how the suspension kind of reacts differently to the different inputs that you're going to be having, and hopefully you guys kind of have a better understanding, if you didn't already, of how to react, how to I guess use an FF drivetrain car. You really have to be aware of what inputs you're using and how to get the grip required to make each corner as fast as possible. So yeah, give it a try. I've got a couple of little just tips in terms of tuning the car now, that both very simple. The first one, you need the height adjustable, fully customizable suspension kit, which costs I think about 17,000 credits in game. And just a super simple modification you can make is to add some rake, which so the rake is when you've got different ride heights at the front and the rear, so it's not equal. And for this FF car, of course, as we were talking about, we want in general more weight at the front. That gives us more grip on the front tires. So by decreasing the ride height at the front, and increasing the ride height at the back, so it's basically lower at the front. It's kind of like a slope. So we go, let's say 95 and 105. So 95 at the front and 105 at the rear. So the rear is at the moment higher than the back. So again, because this is front engined, there's more weight on the front of the car now. If you just literally imagine having a slope or a bar with weights on it, and you slope it forwards, there's going to be more weight going to that lower end due to gravitational effects. So we've got more weight on the front tires, more grip on the front tires. Quite simple, a little thing that you might find to get a little bit more grip out of your FF cars. And the second is you don't need to buy anything. These come pre-equipped on every car. You can change the brake balance, and I recommend a front brake bias. So this is when the front brakes are applying more force than the rear brakes. So if we go quite extreme with 5 on the front and 1 on the rear, there's going to be more braking power on the front wheels than there are on the back wheels. So of course the front wheels are slowing down quicker than the rear, so the car is coming forward more. It's kind of going to have that more of a front lurch, as you will, when you put the brakes on. Again, that puts the weight at the front of the car, and we've got a little bit more front end grip. So a couple of quick, simple modifications you can make to help get a little bit more front end grip for these FF cars. And that pretty much wraps up this first supplementary tips video. Let me know if you've got any feedback, if you need any more help with your front engine, front drivetrain cars. Other than that, we'll see you guys next time for National B and the next tips video. If you haven't already seen today's novice video, go check that out, and I'll see you guys soon. Peace.